There we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night here at the BTA Network, and it's our thing we do every other week, political catch-up. In other words, we catch up, literally, with what's been going on in the past 2 weeks, but there's been so much going on, we may have to change things a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just okay. We thought when we originally planned this show, we thought every 2 weeks should be sufficient. Every 2 weeks should be sufficient in a
And,
normal situation.
but consider what's going on, no.
It, I'm sorry to say, but all the shit that's been going on has just been exhausting mentally.
Yeah.
It's like how the hell
Can so much
can
happen in 2 weeks?
how the hell can so much happen in such a short time,
Mm-hmm.
and B, how the hell can so many people be okay with the casual stripping of our rights?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, before we go on, we'll get to the end. Let's get to the intros. I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently on the line with three of my crazy cohorts. First, to my bottom left is our master and creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
What's up? What's up?
Below me is our dear friend Lala. Hello, Lala.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And finally, to my left, we have our tiny sus Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hey, sus Oreo is just gonna lurk.
That's fine.
A few minutes, and then I got dishes to do, and I think I'm gonna go bed early.
That's fine. That's okay. Like I said.
Hello,
Yeah.
Frodo.
And Sajo is in the chat room as well. Hello, Sajo. All right.
Anyway,
So anyway, back to you, Frodo.
In this past 2 weeks, what sickens so now when you have something like this, you have to question yourself and your sanity. You have to. So Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
can you pull up a website on the stream?
I could try.
So someone has officially created a website. It's TrumpPlaneCrashes.com.
Wait, say that again?
TrumpPlaneCrashes.com.
Well, I'll be doggone. There it is.
Let me look this up. This
Okay.
this can't be true.
It's
This
real.
can't-
Yes.
This
This is
can't
100.
be true.
Okay, hold on. I gotta
Hold
get
on.
it.
Hold on. Trump.
Uh-oh. That's not it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not making this up.
Holy
This
crap!
site-
It's real.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. It is
Yeah.
actually real.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now as I speak, and good god.
Mhm.
1, 2. Okay, that's not a crash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5, 6.
7, 8. There's 8.
Oh. Oh. 1, 2. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
No, wait a
3,
second.
4.
By this, it looks like there's only 6 because you see the ones that are actual crashes have the plane with it. The ones that
Yeah.
don't have the orange with it.
But I don't think they've really updated it because
Okay.
we also have the one in Scottsdale, Arizona, that's not listed here.
That's the Vince Neil private jet crash.
Oh, that is?
Yes.
Okay. But I remember at least that many, but here's my problem. The fact that we even need this website up is offensive to all Americans as far as I'm concerned. And not offensive in the way that
Hello.
Mm.
We had
Excuse
one
me.
more
Yeah.
plane crash today. It wasn't a national flight like a Delta or a United.
Yeah,
but it was still a plane crash, a
yes,
private
admitter.
plane in
Yeah,
Marana,
yeah. It's on
Arizona.
here actually. It's here on this website.
The Marana crash?
Hmm.
That was quick. It just happened earlier today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it made it. It's here.
But you know what?
but
We had the one that landed in the river. We had that one that flipped over. The one in Marana, and there was
Hmm.
one other one I can't think of right now. But you know what? I just hope Trump does not do anything to the ATC,
That's part of the
air
FAA,
traffic
Janet.
controllers.
That's part of the problem is that's part of the FAA.
Oh well,
and
then
he's
I hope.
already doing shit to them,
Yeah,
Like what?
firing a bunch of them.
yeah. Let's see. In fact, it's under here. February 13th. Trump's administration fired thousands of federal employees still on probation, including hundreds within the FAA. Already short staffed, the agency is crippled, leaving airports and air traffic control facilities dangerously understaffed. Now, February 17th, mass firings within the FAA. Hours before the Delta crash, the Trump administration terminated hundreds more FAA employees, further crippling the agency. Meanwhile, Musk's SpaceX team was invited to FAA headquarters, fueling speculation that air traffic control could soon be privatized. Aviation unions warn that Musk's influence threatens the integrity of air safety, prioritizing cost cutting over human lives.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk has no business in the White House in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
I know I
Okay.
said I wasn't going to get involved in the discussion, but here I am.
Well, hey, that's okay. As I said, we're not going to force everybody. If you want to join, it's okay. All right. Now let's see. This is the one. This is the one that happened today. The mid-air collision at Marana Regional. Two people were killed when a Cessna 172S and a Lancair 360 MK2. Sorry.
Mark.
Mark
MK's
II.
Mark.
Okay. A Lancair Lancair 360 Mark II collided midair near Marana Regional Airport outside Tucson, Arizona. Both aircraft were on approach when they made contact, crashing just off the runway. Investigators point to communication failures between the pilots and ground control, an increasingly common issue as Trump's FAA continues to operate under reduced staffing and oversight. This marks the seventh serious U.S. aviation incident in just 3 weeks, reinforcing concerns about the safety of American airspace under Musk's growing influence.
So, I'm going to speak
Musk
as
should have
myself.
left. You know what? Has no business being in the White House. He had no business effing with Twitter either.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So I'm going to speak honestly. I'm not going to yell at people for making a website, but the fact that we need this website is indicative of how much of an early failure Trump's administration has been.
I know.
And I love what what webmaster for this website put up.
Mm-hmm.
Click on complaints, Shirley.
Okay, then hop up here. There we go. Complaints. I don't care.
Yeah.
Winner.
The point
Chicken dinner.
the point of this website is to point out just how much of an abject failure his administration has been since he took over.
Now, let me ask
This
this: who's the is there a head of the FAA right now? Or is it that goofball Sean Duffy or something?
Let me check here.
Yeah. I can't believe I can't believe someone who was like a contestant in a reality show or something is in the administration somewhere. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. No, he's the Secretary of Trans right now,
Mm-hmm.
but the one who's acting is Chris Rochelle.
Okay.
And then we've got the Deputy Administrator, Liam McKenna,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Chief of Staff, Peter Herding.
Oh boy. But this is getting bad. We're having like six or seven air accidents so far.
Yep. Including one
Think of-
where the fucking including one where the plane flipped upside down.
That's the one in Toronto. Go ahead, Janet. You were trying to say something.
You know what? Another um organization that I hope does not get deployed is the USGS. With all the earthquakes and volcanoes blowing up, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, back to you,
That's
Frodo.
another
Yeah, back to you, Frodo. I don't think USGS is part of NOAA. I don't think.
Let me look here.
Yeah. I don't think USGS is part of NOAA.
still.
It's part of the Department of the Interior.
Okay.
So we're gonna get back to NOAA and the National Weather Service here in a bit.
Yeah.
But first, I want to say to all those people that are in executive branch departments and are scared for your jobs,
Uh.
let me tell you, I understand what you're going through. While I don't have personally a job in the executive
Industry.
department,
Okay. Frodo, can you interrupt for a second?
yeah,
Okay, we got someone in the chat saying the site should be called Biden's Plane Crashes, as this is what happens when you prioritize DEI over merit when it comes to hiring pilots. I'm not buying that one.
okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this up on my end so I can see this.
Okay.
Okay. Hungry Traveler, I'm gonna speak directly to you for a moment. Hungry Traveler, during Biden's administration, you want to count how many actual plane crashes there were? I can tell you straight up, there were none. The FAA was fully staffed, and guess what? Any accidents were taken care of and were not big crashes like we've been having. The fact that you're claiming that they should be called Biden plane crashes means that uh you're objectively incorrect. These plane crashes started happening as soon as FAA people started getting kicked out of their offices. When you have people who have been watching the skies and monitoring and helping people land safely for decades being fired for no reason, of course there's going to be problems. So I'm going to say this. Objectively speaking, you are incorrect. Logically speaking, you are incorrect, sir. And as far as I'm concerned, your opinion at this point has just been invalidated because you don't understand what it means to have no people in the towers. Who gives a shit if a person is black, white, green, blue, purple, yellow? I don't give a shit. If they are the best person for the fucking job, good. The problem is why DEI was used is because there's a lot of companies out there who seriously think that the only people that are worth a damn are white people, and it's wrong. So, you saying it was DEI, I say you're on bullshit. Sorry about that.
No, you're
You wanna
fine.
know something? Red, yellow, black, white. transgender, whatever. As long as they are capable of doing the job, who gives a fucking shit?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Because, at my job alone, I'm not gonna I mean I'm not sure we've got DEI. We don't need it though, because we've got a lot of good qualified people. Because I've got my coworkers are I've got one who is Spanish. I've got one who's German. I've had one who was from Canada. Okay? So, but yeah, but Hungry Travelers agree. Best person for the job. Mm-hmm.
But
And
yeah, and here's the thing: the reason DEI was implemented on the federal level was because there is still systemic racism in the United States government.
mm-hmm.
I think. Oh, that must have been Sarah. I heard.
Yeah, but we all agree though, if it's got to be the best person for the job, and but the problem is there are some companies that still would like to choose a white person over a person of color. Now, of course, in my case, that doesn't happen in my job because we choose we people are hired by on merit on their ability to do the job.
And you got to remember, to be a FTC, you have to go to a class for like a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to learn how to communicate to the people in the planes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. And
Mm-hmm.
the other aspect of the job that a lot of people don't think about is you have to be able to restrain your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
because in many cases you're dealing with thousands of lives per day
Right.
as an ATC.
Yeah, and here's what Hungry Travel said. He said, doesn't happen on mine either. We have a highly diverse team. Yeah, in other words, some places don't need the DEI because they've already got a pretty good diverse team. So,
Yeah. Yeah. To get back on what Frodo said about the air traffic controllers, you have an air traffic controller who is trying to keep more than one plane out of the other way. Um, it's like the first incident that happened.
mm-hmm. Oh, Craig's in the
They
chat.
didn't
Hey, Craig.
separate. They were trying to keep them separated.
Mm-hmm.
You
But it
know?
didn't work out because of
Right.
various
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we do have information on why that one happened, and and some of the blame has to go to the AM radio transmissions that the FTCs use. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. AM radio is actually the best way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but we all know AM radio isn't the best for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But what it loses in clarity, it makes up for in range.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you ever listen to your radio, you've got. I mean, I'll listen to FM radio. Once I get about 50, 60 miles, I start losing the reception on the FM. When I'm on the AM, though, it stays on quite a bit longer.
Yep. Here in Iowa,
Yeah, but AM
I've been
stations are becoming more and more scarce, though.
True.
yeah, but
A lot of people
I've
are
been
resorting to like Sirius XM.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able with mine to be able to I've been able to hear AM radio from Texas.
I believe it. I honestly believe it. Because there was one time I used to have like a small one of those, they have one of those TV radios like with a 3-inch TV screen. I actually
Yep.
had one of those, believe it or not, and I was actually able to pick up a TV station in Mobile all the way from Montgomery. And that we're talking 176 miles here. So,
Yeah.
But
You
anyway,
know what? Nah, never mind. Go ahead, Frodo.
I was going to say, let's get back on track
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the biggest problem that I have right now with people who are Trumplicans are that, you look at what's going on, and objectively speaking, it it's not good. But then you get people who are like, well, I'm fine with it. I'm like, huh?
Well,
How can you be fine?
yeah, but here's the thing though. A lot of people are starting to have a bit of remorse over regretting voting for him.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
I
ran
do.
into it.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Jan.
Finish. No, finish, Frodo. Just I want to have
I
my
was gonna.
experience with the Trumplicant.
I'm gonna say that one of the things that scares me the most, and honestly, this should scare everyone. In March, people who get Social Security checks, your check is not guaranteed.
Oh, hi, Birch.
Your check is not a guarantee this next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What
a
about my
problem.
supplemental security income?
Anything you get from Social Security is not a guarantee next month.
Yeah, I'm not sure if SSI has anything to do with it, but
Yes, it does.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I'm happy how your traveler said, it's good, best person for the job doesn't have, not every company has to do DEI because we already have it on our own, so which is good, but
Excuse me.
you're excused.
there
Yeah.
is no excuse for you, Jan.
Kiss my ass.
Nah, that's more Princess's job.
Oh. Ouch.
I
All
had
right.
to tease you there, Jan.
Yeah, but all
I
right, but
know.
yeah, but let's get back into this because we've got something a little bit more serious. Because let's put it this way. I had two rounds of severe weather in less than a week. Who's providing all the information to our local TV stations? The National Weather Service office in Birmingham. Of course, that was the same one that was scolded in 2019 after Donald Trump decided to add Hurricane Dorian path with a Sharpie and put Alabama into it, causing a panic. Remember that?
Yep.
Uh-huh. How can we forget it?
Yeah. And now Elon Musk and Doge are saying, "Hey, we're gonna dismantle NOAA," and the National Weather was like, "Oh no, you're not."
Here's
There's
the
probably
thing.
a lot of
And
people out there that
Okay,
agree with
hang
you,
on.
Shirley.
Let me do one little thing here. Put the rant rocket on.
Let me say this now. Tonight, on Beyond the Airwaves, Shirley's about to lose her motherfucking top.
Yeah.
well, it'll probably be both of us, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because you gotta
I am going to
remember,
bid you guys adieu. I got dishes to do.
Okay, go ahead.
So, thank you for allowing me to participate.
No problem.
but always remember, me and Shirley are both weather spotters, so
Mm-hmm.
this kind of shit does affect us.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, Janet. Later. All right. So anyway,
Go ahead, Shirley.
All right.
You take it away, and I'll jump in as needed.
okay. Let me put it this way. They want to dismantle NOAA and the National Weather Service because let's face it, it doesn't even cost that much to give everybody the weather forecast, the alerts for severe weather. We've got flood warnings because look what happened in Kentucky. Just when we were having the storms here, Kentucky had flooding. 9 people were killed. Okay. But we got plenty of warning thanks to the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, and the National Weather Service offices in like Louisville, Birmingham, Huntsville, all of them. We need those offices. I have toured that National Weather Service office in Birmingham office. It's actually in Calera, not quite Birmingham, but
Close enough.
yeah, it is close enough. But now somebody had, let's see. I see. Yeah, Sajo says, I do support Noah. Oh, yes, so do I. And I remember I had posted something. Let me go find where I did it.
Shirley is going hunting, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, just had to tease on that one.
That's fine. Okay, here's where I got it. And just have to find it. Bear with me, Raul, because it was a long post, so. Okay, so. This is what now this is back on February 13th. We had the severe weather back on the 12th. So here's what happened. Another reason Doge needs to leave NOAA and NWS alone. The U.S. has an average of 1,200 tornadoes every year. In 2024, there were over 1,700 tornadoes reported, the second highest on record. Now, South Africa, where Mr. Musk comes from, averages only 3 tornadoes per year and had only 2 in 2024. Although there was one on June 3rd that did a lot of damage and killed 12 people in the process. I'm not going to take that away. Now, the night we had the severe weather, my local TV station here in Montgomery, we had to interrupt coverage for the severe weather because per the FCC requirement for life-saving information. So where do the local stations here get their information on the storms, including the tornadoes? That's right, the National Weather Service office in Birmingham. The very office scolded in 2019 for telling the truth about Hurricane Dorian not affecting Alabama after Donald Trump added it into the path with a Sharpie. Now, I also have to be a certified storm spotter with this very office. There are a lot of us out there providing life-saving information and ground truth, especially when it comes to reporting tornadoes on the ground. If DOGE dismantles NOAA and the National Weather Service, we lose the Storm Prediction Center, the National Hurricane Center, the Tsunami Warning Center, and the National Severe Storms Laboratory. This would mean that a lot of people could miss the alerts needed to take shelter, potentially causing massive loss of life. If that does happen, the blood is going to be on Trump, Musk, and DOGE's filthy hands.
And I'm going to take it another step further, okay? Let's just roll back to 2011 for a bit.
Right.
Okay? So it's 3 years before we actually created this show. And we're dealing with, in May, we're dealing with the Joplin tornado.
May 22nd.
Yep. May
Joplin,
22nd.
Joplin, Missouri.
Yep.
Yep.
A big monster.
So let's just imagine for a moment that there was no National Weather Service for that tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys actually seen the path of that twister?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the path of that one, you would have had probably a triple MCE going on. And for those that don't get the lingo, MCE, Mike Charlie Edward, or Mike Charlie Echo, stands for Mass Casualty Event.
Okay.
Okay, which would have meant that from all over the country, we would have had a bunch of first responders out there. But, and this is what really bothers me the most about it, those first responders wouldn't have the information they need to protect themselves in the event of everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone saying that the National Weather Service doesn't do anything, excuse me, but we had, 7 deaths or something like that in the Joplin tornado?
No, it was 160.
Okay. I'm sorry, I estimate.
It was around 160. It was one of the deadliest tornadoes since I think 1945. I think.
So we had 170 deaths in that tornado. What would you say about adding a couple more zeros to that?
That's what would happen. Because think about this: the tri-state
precisely what would have happened.
The tri-state tornado of 1925. It killed over 700 people. Now that was before the National Weather Service was even established. Now, go to April 3rd, 1974, when you have the 148 tornadoes. Less than half of the tri-state deaths were reported. It was about, I think, 315. A lot of deaths, maybe, but it was less than half of the tri-state
Of
tornado.
the tri-state.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget in my area in Maryland, the EF4 tornado that hit La Plata.
Yeah, it was just 2 weeks after 9/11, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I was in a path. Largo was almost in the path of that storm because I remember, and this is my experience coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming from Prince George's Community College. The alarms were going off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking from the C-26 from PGCC and dropped me off at Campus Way.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was saying, look at all those clouds, like something's about to drop. And when I looked, I said, shit. And I got off the bus and I heard the alarms blaring. These three kids were just laughing and having fun. And I said, kids, get inside, get to a basement. A tornado is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at me like I was crazy. Their phone goes off and they looked at me and I said, get home. They jetted.
Yeah. Because
Then when I got home, that's when Angie at the time saw me get in and said, LaShawna, you heard the news. I said, yeah, I heard the tornado's coming. She said, go down to the basement. I said, I'm already on it.
Mm-hmm. It's and of course the biggest day in our history, April 27th, 2011. Okay?
Yep.
Because my God, we had 62 tornadoes in the state alone. That was part of the record 192 that day. It destroyed the 1974 outbreak. Okay? Now, we had over I think it was like 350 killed, but over 250 in Alabama alone, despite the warnings. I mean, it wasn't anybody's fault. Problem was, in most of those tornadoes, you had to get underground or you're dead.
Yep. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize about what the National Weather Service is, it's not just about weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a big part of what they do.
Yeah.
But
it's a part of keeping everyone safe, keeping you alert, and plus giving you a warning ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got the early warning systems out to give people the safety up to 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I would say even 15 minutes might be a little bit too short occasionally. But 15 minutes is great, but occasionally it can be too short of a time.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation.
Exactly. But, I'd much rather that we get as accurate as possible. Because if we could get it warning out, say, 30 minutes ahead, imagine how many more lives can be saved.
Yeah, I know. Because right now, I think the average time is between 13 and 15 minutes lead time.
Exactly. And the thing is, 13 to 15 minutes may seem like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
When you got a tornado headed right for you, 13 to 15 minutes is like, move it.
Yep.
Even I have to explain to one of my cousins who worked at the rec center when we had a tornado warning in Montgomery County. And mainly she was asking me the question because mainly I'm a weather freak myself. And she asked me like, I'm glad that we got the warnings, but she's like, aren't there already warnings around here in like all 50 states? I said, yes, but they're not good enough. They're not near as good enough. From years ago, it was 10 minutes. She was like, oh. And I said, now that they got the early warning systems out, Mainly, they can get the emergency out of there for at least 15 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
get people to get to safety, but it's still not enough.
No.
Yeah. 15. Here's the thing that a lot of people think. Oh, we're just talking out of our ass. We don't know what we're talking about. Da 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 da. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this. No, I'm not talking out of my ass. I Me and Shirley are both storm spotters.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I'm really good friends with another storm spotter who's also a first responder.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Everything I've said today, 100% backed up by not just me, not just Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
but also a first responder, a literal first responder who is a paramedic. When you have to deal with tornadic weather, and Iowa last year had a fucking hellacious season, including Greenfield. Ooh. Do you remember that one, Shirley?
No, I don't exactly remember that one.
You don't remember Greenfield, Iowa?
No? I'll have to look it up.
Wait a
I'll look
minute,
it up.
Last,
I'll
Greenfield,
look it up.
Greenfield, Iowa, where they had that big tornado?
yeah,
I remember that because the Weather Channel actually did a report on that.
Okay. Okay, it was May 21st, 2024. Violent, destructive, powerful, multi-vortex tornado struck communities of Villisca, Nottoway, Brooks Corning, and Greenfield in southwestern Iowa. Okay.
Yeah, because
yep.
they talked about that. They just talked about that not too long ago with the cleanup effort.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Greenfield, okay, so I'm going to have people say, oh, but the big tornadoes are the really dangerous ones, not the smaller ones. No.
Oh, no, 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 no. Wrong.
Bull crap. Bull crap. EF1s are
All,
danger. EF1s are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
EF2s are severe dangerous. EF3s and 4s is severely. EF5 is major.
Yeah.
it, okay, so how I explained it last year, and I'm going to explain it again like this because it makes sense. So let's say you have a funnel that is mile wide. Okay. Estimate, I'm going to actually pull up exact figures just so I have the right numbers here. So
Mm-hmm.
give me one moment to go through my Facebook and find it.
Yeah. But there was like
And
what
while
was
he,
what, there was like a large widespread tornado outbreak that occurred from May 19th to the 27th.
while
Is
Frodo is finding the information, we're gonna kind of cut breaks here because I just found this out 11 hours ago.
okay.
We're trying to lighten the mood here a little bit.
Okay.
Purple Rain is being released for a limited time in movie theaters.
Oh, what is it?
Purple Rain.
Oh no, it. Yeah, because I know last year was the 40th anniversary
Yep.
because the movie came out in 1984. So,
Yep. I was 4 years old
All
when
right.
that movie came out.
all right, go ahead, Frodo.
So I personally think that the tornado was an EF5, but I'm not registered for that, so I can't do that kind of guess. But that's just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, while many EF5s are going to be very wide, they don't need to be huge. Put it
Mm-hmm.
this way, a mile wide tornado, 5,280 feet, is 63,360 inches in diameter. I'm going to assume for this discussion that the tornado in question are 100% circular, just to make calculations easier.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
Craig's going to bed. Good night, Craig.
Yep. So a mile wide tornado has a circular area of 3 billion 3,152,972,758.81 square inches. Assuming 200 miles per hour, that means the air molecules in hitting anything within that area take damage proportional to that wind speed over a large area.
Mm-hmm.
But if we estimate the funnel to be, say, 400 yards in diameter, okay, same winds,
Mm-hmm.
you have 118,095,573.69 square inches of circular area for the winds to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Same wind speed, but the smaller tornado has tighter circulation, which means more air is hitting everything in the funnel, which, using fluid dynamics, means that there is more pressure being exerted in the smaller funnel than there would be in the larger funnel.
Yeah, yeah. Saja says all EF tornadoes are dangerous. That is true because one time we had it was only an EF1 tornado. It was south of Montgomery. It was not here, but a woman and her grandson were killed when their mobile home got flipped. So
I'm going to go even further than that, Sajo. All tornadoes are dangerous.
yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I'm going to say it. There is no safe tornado.
Mm-mm.
And like my wife is always scared shitless when it's tornado season
Mm-hmm.
because she's always afraid that I'm going to get killed by a tornado. No, I'm not. You want to know why? I know a little bit of a secret. If the tornado looks like it's moving, you're safe. If the tornado does not look like it's moving,
You're in trouble.
run. Run.
Because I know what you're talking about. If you see like moving, if you see like moving this way or whatever, yeah. But if it's like it's not moving, it's like, I think it's coming my way.
No, it's not an I think it's coming my way. It's a oh fuck. I'm in danger.
Yeah, because look at all of those videos from April 27th, 2011.
Yep.
There are plenty of examples of that.
Really? And it's a fact. You know, if a tornado is not moving, you better either get down and hope that you stay alive, or bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way. There were two storm chasers that afternoon on April 27th. I think they were going down like I-359, right? Now, they actually had to back up about a couple miles. Guess what? Where they were 2 miles ahead, the tornado went over it. So.
Yep. And it does happen. People don't realize, but shit like that happens.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, nobody in the state of Alabama has ever forgotten April 27th, and never will forget April 27th, because the interesting thing was this: there was actually another tornado outbreak 12 days ahead of that on April 15th, and yes, I had a tornado warning. Most of the tornadoes were actually on the southern side of the state. On the April 27th one, Montgomery southward, one tornado warning. Go 10 miles north to Elmore County and go up north. It was all hell breaking loose. I mean, the Weather Service offices were probably the busiest they could have been in that entire period. It's like, like on a moment like today when the weather's calm, you're probably not going to have a lot of people there. That's fine. But when the weather cranks up, you need every hand on deck. And Elon Musk and Doge is trying to take that away because they want to privatize the weather.
Yeah, and that's something that we can't allow happen.
No. I feel like he crossed the line with me.
I'm going to say this. I know the reason they don't want the National Weather Service to exist, because they claim that the Weather Service pushes the narrative of
Climate
climate
change.
change.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. First off, narrative implies that it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, are you fucking stupid? I mean, how long have you been in this world? 50 years, Mr. Musk? I've been here 40 years.
I'm 50, so.
And I can tell you, in the 40 years I've been alive, 40, the weather patterns have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Iowa, in the 90s, I could count on pretty much having a day where we would get 6-10 inches of snow.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easily. Now, we just got, 3-4 inches about less than a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
And we're feeling lucky to have gotten it because our climate needs that snow for farming and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, even from my perspective, in the little state of Iowa, where you don't give two fucks about, you son of a bitch, the climate has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed irreversibly.
Yeah, and like for example, there's something else. Tornado Alley, the normal Tornado Alley, seems to be changing because, of course, now you're getting more of these tornadoes down in the southeast in Dixie Alley.
Yes. The thing is, people don't realize that the United States has two tornado alleys. The one in the Midwest, which
What's that?
it's shifting more towards the north, so it's starting to encompass more of Iowa, and the one to the south, along where Shirley is, near the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. And yes, we're still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, screw that. You can't change the name arbitrarily just because you got corn cob up your ass.
Yeah. But, and another thing, hurricanes, they are getting stronger, they're getting more violent, you know.
Look at 2024. Look at the last year's hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
In less than, okay, so the season started out slow. Guess
Right.
what? It usually fucking does.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened when it started getting up?
It amped up like crazy.
We had major hurricane. In the Gulf of Mexico area, we had 3 that were super powerful. Bertha,
Helene and
Michael?
Milton.
Yep, Bertha, Helene, and Milton. Those 3 went up the freaking Gulf of Mexico area and just ransacked shit.
Mm-hmm.
Helene arguably was the worst.
Yeah.
Because it went up to South Carolina and those areas and fucking inundated Asheville or North Carolina. My bad.
Mm-hmm. No, you got it. You're fine.
But the point being, if that isn't directly evidence that climate is changing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to take to convince people that climate change is real.
Yeah, I think another thing is Elon Musk, like, he's got all that money. I think he wants to use all his Starlink satellites or something to do with the weather. It's like, no way. That's why we have these GOES satellites in the first place.
The GOES satellites are designed to track the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got one more thing, Shirley.
Okay.
That I need to mention.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a picture here really quickly.
All right.
Privately. And I just got one thing to say about this, and you'll understand why I'm going to say this when I show you the picture.
Okay. Oops. No, it's not there. Okay.
Here it is. I sent it to your messenger.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, perfect.
Ew. Yeah, I've seen this picture circulating today.
So, Trump is now
Ow.
thinking about using the term king for himself. I'm going to say three things really quick.
Go ahead.
Number one, if you're a fucking king, then I'm fucking God Almighty, you son of a bitch. Secondly, the United States does not recognize any kings.
No.
We do not.
No, because
And third off,
oh, go ahead. You finish yours.
And third off, I don't give a shit that that's on the fucking White House's own X account. Motherfucker, you shut the fuck up. If you're a king, then you know what? What does that make Elon Musk? The emperor? Your butt buddy?
Good question. Because I'm going to give you a fact here. When George Washington was elected, he was asked if he wanted to be the king. He said no. He didn't want it. Because they fought for their freedom from a king already. So.
Yep. Yeah, this picture sickens me.
Ugh. Makes me sick too. Because I'm sorry, the United States of America is not, it's not Canada. Canada is a British sovereignty, okay? But the United States isn't sovereign to anybody.
Exactly.
And the fact that, we've had all these plane accidents, and, they're going, and, that thing you posted to me about something already being taken off from Noah's website. I was looking for it, like, yeah, he's right. They did take it off already.
Yeah, they took shit off of Noah's website already.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trump dictates it.
Yep. We're heading. Sandra's saying we're heading to a civil war. It could be. It could be.
It just sickens me because it's like, where? I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Where the fuck are our elected officials? And no, I'm not referring to Trump.
Yeah.
I'm referring to all the other ones. Where the fuck are you guys?
Yeah.
The last time I checked, your fucking rule is that you support and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
This fits the definition of a domestic enemy.
Yeah. Okay. Frodo, mind if I interrupt with this? Because this just broke. IRS plans to lay off 7,000 workers beginning tomorrow. Yeah, this was literally posted an hour ago. So here's what's going on out of Washington from the AP. The IRS will lay off roughly 7,000 workers in Washington and around the country beginning Thursday, a person familiar with the plan told the Associated Press. The layoffs affect probationary employees with roughly 1 year or less of service at the agency and largely include workers in compliance departments, according to the person who was not authorized to disclose the plans and spoke on condition of anonymity today. Compliance work includes ensuring that taxpayers are abiding by the tax code, filing their returns, and paying their taxes, among other duties. The layoffs are part of the Trump administration's intensified efforts to shrink the size of the federal workforce through the Department of Government Efficiency by ordering agencies to lay off nearly all probationary employees who have not yet gained civil service protection. They come despite IRS employees involved in the 2025 tax season being told earlier this month that they would not be allowed to accept a buyout offer from the Trump administration until mid-May, after the taxpayer filing deadline. It's unclear how layoffs may affect tax collection services this year. As the nation's revenue collector, the IRS was tasked during the Biden administration with targeting high-wealth tax evaders for an additional stream of income to the U.S., which is $36 trillion in debt. By the end of 2024, the IRS collected over $1.3 billion in back taxes from rich tax dodgers. The IRS has roughly 90,000 employees total across the United States, according to the latest IRS data. Racial minorities make up 56% of the IRS workforce, and women represent 65%. In addition to the planned layoffs, the Trump administration intends to lend IRS workers to the Department of Homeland Security to assist with the immigration enforcement. In a letter sent earlier this month, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem asked Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to borrow IRS workers to help with ongoing immigration crackdown efforts. Representatives from the IRS and U.S. Treasury did not respond to requests for comment from the AP. It's like, are you kidding me? You're going to send IRS workers to the border? What's next?
Sorry. I had to exhale really quick because I got a few things to say about that.
Go ahead.
As for you guys thinking that anyone can do these jobs, okay, people who are usually money people don't want to be fucking running around, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just to the point where I am sick and fucking tired of all this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
When Biden was in office, we actually had a normal, relatively, 4 years. A relatively normal 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in less than fucking
Actually, no, it's just barely. It's about a month, almost a month now, a full month.
Exactly. In just about a month, these fuckers are trying to torpedo everything. I'm sorry, but fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if you guys think I'm being rude, but yeah. It's just like everything that's been going wrong lately
I know.
has just been so fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. Because my worry is this, if Musk wants to privatize the weather, make everybody pay, make everyone pay to get their watches and warnings and such. It's like, no, because on a day like today, there's barely any rain, weather's nice, not too many meteorologists. But when the weather amps up, when the weather gets severe, it's all hands on deck. It has to be.
Yep.
Because look what happened.
And
because let me do this example real quick. Christmas Day 2012, we actually had a tornado outbreak. A lot of meteorologists had to give up being where their families on Christmas Day to keep the millions of people in the Southeast safe. Because guess what? I actually had a tornado here in Montgomery on Christmas night in 2012. Fortunately, it did a little bit of damage, but no injuries, no fatalities, thank goodness. But then there was that one that was caught on camera in Mobile on Christmas night that night. So, Sanjo says, "Don't forget NASA." Yeah, don't worry, we haven't forgot about NASA.
Trust me, I can't forget about NASA because I have a friend who actually works at NASA, and she's one of the smartest people I know. She's technically considered a probationary worker, so she's at risk. But the thing is, as far as dipshit might be considered, she might be a DEI hire because not only is she an Asian woman, which, I don't give a shit. They're cool. She's cool as shit. But she's also LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I can't forget about the NASA. I honestly don't know how this country can survive 4 years of this.
Yeah, I agree. Because seriously, oh yeah, one other thing. An act, I think it's called the SAVE Act. This one's gonna piss off a lot of people because, especially women, if you're married and your last name doesn't match your birth certificate, you may be losing your right to vote.
Wait, what?
Yeah, let me go find that. It was the SAVE Act. It passed.
Yeah, give that to me because that's fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on. Oh man, it's past 10 o'clock, but we got time. We're gonna do this one last thing, so. Okay. I think I still got one more. Alright. Okay, so. Alright. Okay, now this is courtesy of Snopes, so let's see. Research suggests up to 34% of voting age women don't have documents proving citizenship with the current legal name. So, beginning in mid-2024, rumors circulated on social media. Can you get out of the way? I don't need the ad. Out. Okay. Social media claiming the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, federal legislation requiring proof of citizenship to vote, will prevent married women who take their husband's last names from voting. Now, it is true that the SAVE Act passed the House of Representatives in 2024, and the proposed legislation will require documentary proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote. However, the Senate did not pass the act in 2024, so it is not law at the time of this writing. It still needs to pass several hurdles, including winning 3/5 majority in the Senate, which will require Democratic support before it can become law. For many Americans, primary proof of citizenship is their birth certificate. If an applicant's birth certificate doesn't match their legal name, or if an applicant doesn't have proof of citizenship at all, they may have to produce additional documentation to vote under the SAVE Act. Research suggests up to 34% of voting age women don't have documents with the current legal name proving citizenship, and more than 9% of Americans don't have readily available documents proving citizenship. Now, the courts have repeatedly overturned similar laws passed by U.S. states, but often because they violate federal law, which the SAVE Act could change. In 2024, the Supreme Court allowed Arizona to require documentary proof of citizenship for state elections, but not federal elections. However, the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in 2021 that Kansas' SAVE Act-style law created an unconstitutional burden on voting rights after more than 31,000 Kansans had their voter registrations suspended or blocked. But it is a real bill. Okay.
How about this? I've got a very fucking easy way to deal with this. Simply put, if you already have a fucking license, you can fuck or an ID, you can vote.
Mhm.
If you have an ID, you can vote. How about that? How's
Yeah.
that sound? Is that simple enough?
Yeah. And there's Sumi in the chat. Hey, Sumi. Hope you know.
Hey, Trouble.
A wild Sumi has appeared. Yeah, well, anyway,
Ace.
but we're about to wrap things up, actually, so. But, I
Hey,
mean,
Troublemaker. How have you been?
yeah. Good question. All right, so anyway, yeah, we didn't put a lot in here tonight, but I think it needed to be heard because, and we may do some talking about whether or not we may turn this into a weekly thing, and I may move my game stream to like, um, a different night. So, maybe we'll talk about that. We'll come to a decision on that. Let's see. I've been doing wife stuff. Oh, that's right. She's married. All right. So anyway, you know, this was a discussion that was definitely needed tonight because
Yeah.
just too much going on over 2 weeks. We like I said, we're gonna discuss it, maybe make it into a weekly thing, and I might move my gaming stream to a different night. So we'll figure that out. But anyway, let's see. How are you doing? Let's see. Oh, that was you. Never
That's
mind.
me.
Sorry. Brain dead am I. All right. So anyway, basically we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. Friday we're gonna be doing trivia once again. So, and then hopefully
How did the new
Rotten
Cards
Apples.
Against Humanity?
The Rotten Apples actually pretty good. Only one difference: you can't write. There's no write in, but at least you get to choose from 3 cards, and there's no time limit. It's actually not bad. I mean, that's the only thing you can't. There's no write in, but I think it'll be okay.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, that's basically your game plan for this week. So I'm gonna play the ending. Hang on for 15 seconds.
All right. I'm gonna bounce so that you can finish.
All right.
the rest of it.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, I'm gonna say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everyone have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe. For parts of the country, stay warm. It's gonna be brutally cold tonight, and we'll see you on Friday for trivia night. So